Hey everybody, I'm Katallina, and today we're here to talk about episode 4 of Quality Assurance in Another World. Let's not beat around the bush. This episode hit freaking hard. And the thing is, a lot of it leading up to what actually happened by the end of the episode, which was an absolute gut punch, was really funny, really cool, very chill and heartwarming. I could relate to it as a writer, I could relate to it as somebody who has disabilities, I could relate to it as a gamer. It was just doing its own thing, and it was telling this warm and very moving and very comfy and yet also very interesting story. And then everything just hit the fan, and it just went for the frickin' jugular, and it did not stop. This was absolutely insane. So let's begin, of course, by talking about the core thing, which was the fate of the NPC Lou. And this is the second time this show has shown us something happening to an NPC. But unlike when Nikola suffered her fate and we saw everything that happened to her, there is no happy ending this time. There is only the AI that wants us to go and fight the debuggers, making sure that we understand fully exactly why she wants these bastards taken out. And you know what? After seeing what happened in this episode, I do too. These people are sick and they need to be stopped. I mean, it's really funny because there's part of your brain, or at least for me there is, because I do play games and everything, where part of me is like, oh, it's inside of a game, oh, it's inside of a game. But the thing is, I've said this before, when things happen inside of stories, whether it's in a game, a book, a movie, a TV show, a song, doesn't matter. When something happens inside something like that, it can really hit you. And those feelings are real. Those feelings matter. When you're happy, you're happy. When you're sad, you're sad. When you're laughing, you're laughing. When you're crying, you're crying. And it doesn't matter what provoked those tears. They are still pouring down your face. So I think it's really amazing that they went there with this, because holy crap, this character had gone through, Lou, this character had gone through so much stuff and everything. And then to see her fate ultimately end up being, because they couldn't just take her down the stairs to save her like Haga would normally do with Nikola, she just ended up having to wait there, and the guy wanted to come back and help her, and to find that she had been essentially, from what I understand, crushed in half. That's horrifying. And it was so heartbreaking, first off, because like she didn't even seem to realize what had happened to her, but she died. And then our new bunny friend here, or whatever, I think he's a bunny, anyway, I'm kind of confused. But he was just so devastated, because for him, this is the person who's been listening to his story, and as somebody who writes, the idea that you've got this one person who is listening to your stuff and then suddenly they are gone, yeah, that would be absolute nightmareville. I mean, it's already bad enough because he obviously cared about this person and had created a bond with them. Whether or not they are an NPC is irrelevant. And to see them first off go, and him not being able to help them, and then also the reality that now he no longer has that person to share his stories with anymore, is devastating. And it's not just about being able to share the stories, because he now has access to Haga and to Nikola, who both like his work. His work is obviously of some substance or caliber. It's obviously good in some way, at least that these people are liking it. But that's not enough. That's not good enough. That doesn't entirely matter. It wasn't merely the sharing of the story. It's the fact that he came to care about her over the time he had been in this world, and that the story mattered. So that really hit me really, really hard. Now, on a more light and whimsical and fun note, we did have the T-posing thing at the start of the episode, which definitely, as somebody who plays games and as somebody who has made some stuff, like both in like 3D modeling crap or just making like RPGs and stuff as a hobby, that absolutely had me rolling on the floor laughing. It was so funny, because that is something that can so easily happen either when you're making something, or that can happen if your character bugs out in a game, and it's hilarious because that is literally how it looks, and it is just really, really silly. Anyway, I super enjoyed this episode, and I thought they did a really great job with everything. I like the fact that this show is able to balance like using hints and references and stuff to how gaming and game design work, while also examining what it means to be human, because these NPCs look like the people who are inside of the game, because everybody's inside of this game world and everything. But what we're seeing very clearly is that the emotional attachment is still causing actual consequences. And the being taken to another world, while it's in a gaming sense this time and not through like Truck-kun or something as it would be in a regular isekai, is impacting how people's mentality is working. Because, I mean, if you think about the police, 90% of what the police actually do isn't actually something they physically do. 90% of what the police do is by having their presence be there, it gives people just enough disincentive to actually do bad things. To be clear, just as we see in this show, not all people would do bad things. Our bunny friend that we met in this episode is interested in just living his life and writing his manga. Has he given up on debugging crap? Yes, but there are reasons for that, clearly. But instead of doing the stuff that his comrades were doing, terrorizing and torturing people and abusing people, he wants to create something beautiful. He wants to share it with someone. He's been helping someone. So that's not necessarily the default of what someone is going to be doing, being an evil bastard or something. But I think that there is a certain level of, is there consequences, which actually acts as a thwarting mechanism to prevent people from doing bad things. Because while not every person would do good things, not every person would do bad things, there are people who can be influenced in one way or another. Anyway, those are my thoughts on this episode, but I'd love to know what you guys are thinking, so drop a comment below and let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you later. Bye!